Deep in the heart of South America lies a realm both ancient and alive, the Amazon. Here the world breathes in green, a living tapestry where beauty and danger are inseparable threads. The air is thick with the scent of earth and rain, and every shadow seems to whisper secrets from a time before memory. This is a place where the line between life and death is as thin as the mist that clings to the canopy at dawn. The Amazon is not merely a forest, it is a living, breathing organism, a mosaic of ecosystems layered one atop another, from the sun-drenched treetops to the shadowy, flooded underworld below. In this world, survival is not just a challenge, it is a relentless daily battle, a test of wit, strength, and adaptation. Every creature, from the tiniest iridescent beetle to the most formidable predator, must carve out its place in a wilderness that offers no mercy. The Amazon is a crucible, forging life through struggle and competition where only the most cunning and resilient endure. Scientists estimate that a single hectare of rainforest here can contain more species of plants and animals than all of Europe combined. Each organism, no matter how small, plays a role in the intricate web of life, and every day brings new stories of survival and loss. The Amazon's waterways are its veins, twisting and turning through the dense jungle, forming a vast labyrinth of rivers, swamps, and hidden lagoons. These waters are the lifeblood of the forest, nourishing its endless green, but they are also shrouded in mystery. Beneath the surface, the world changes, light fades, sounds muffle, and the rules of survival shift. Here in the murky depths, the most elusive predators reign. The flooded forests known as are home to creatures adapted to a world where land and water merge, and where the boundaries between the two are blurred by the seasonal rise and fall of the river. On the shadowy forest floor, a tapir moves with deliberate caution, foraging for tender shoots among the tangled roots and fallen leaves. Every step is measured, every sound analyzed, for danger is ever present. The jaguar, silent and unseen, stalks through the undergrowth, its golden eyes fixed on the unwary. Even the capybara, the world's largest rodent, knows to keep close to the water, where escape might be possible, but not guaranteed. The Amazon's animals have evolved extraordinary senses and behaviors to survive in this world of perpetual risk, where the difference between hunter and hunted can change in an instant. Yet beneath the surface of these dark, slow-moving waters, a true ruler holds court. Arowana, a giant female green anaconda, the undisputed queen of the swamps. She is a legend whispered about in the rustle of reeds and the hush of the current, a presence felt more than seen. To the creatures of the Amazon she is both myth and reality, a ghost that glides through the water unseen until it is too late. Local folklore tells of a serpent so vast it can swallow a man whole, its spirit said to guard the secrets of the river. Some say Arowana is the living embodiment of this legend, a creature that blurs the line between the natural and the supernatural. Arowana is a titan among serpents, nearly 7 meters long and weighing more than a grown man. Her body is a masterpiece of evolution, muscular, sinuous, and perfectly adapted to her watery world. Her olive and black skin is a living camouflage, a pattern that breaks her outline and lets her vanish into the mud and shadows. Even the sharpest eyes can miss her as she lies in wait, motionless, a living current in the water. Scientists have marveled at the anaconda's ability to regulate its buoyancy, using its massive lungs to float just beneath the surface, invisible to both prey and predator. She glides through the swamp like a ghost, her massive form barely disturbing the water. Every movement is deliberate, every pause calculated. The swamp is both her kingdom and her weapon, a realm where she is invisible, invincible, and utterly patient. She can wait for hours, even days, for the perfect moment to strike, her hunger matched only by her discipline. The anaconda's hunting strategy is a marvel of patience and precision, relying on stealth and the element of surprise rather than speed or aggression. Even the most feared predators of the Amazon, the jaguar, the black Caiman, approach her domain with caution. The jaguar, master of stealth, hesitates at the water's edge, its instincts warning of a danger it cannot see. The Caiman, armoured and ancient, keeps to the shallows, wary of the silent giant that rules the depths. In these waters, Arowana is the undisputed master, her presence shaping the very behaviour of the forest's fiercest hunters. Local legends speak of entire villages relocating after a giant anaconda was sighted, and of fishermen who refused to cast their nets in certain lagoons, believing them to be cursed by the serpent's spirit. Her strength is the stuff of legend. She waits, motionless, her senses attuned to every vibration, every scent. When the moment comes, she explodes into action with terrifying speed, coiling her massive body around her prey in a deadly embrace. Her grip is relentless, her muscles squeezing with a force that can crush bone and stop a heart in seconds. Few creatures can escape once she has chosen them. Biologists have measured the constriction force of a large anaconda at over 90 pounds per square inch, enough to subdue even a caiman or a wild pig. Arowana's senses are finely tuned to her world. She can detect the faintest vibration in the water, the subtlest scent carried on the current, the smallest ripple on the surface. Her tongue flicks out, tasting the air, reading the invisible messages left by passing animals. Her eyes and nostrils, set high on her head, allow her to remain almost completely submerged, a living shadow beneath the water. Recent studies suggest that anacondas may even sense the electromagnetic fields generated by the movement of their prey, giving them an almost supernatural ability to hunt in total darkness. Every creature in the Amazon, from frogs to tapirs, knows the threat she represents. The mere hint of her presence sends ripples of fear through the animal kingdom, keeping them on constant alert. Birds take flight at the slightest disturbance, mammals freeze and listen, and even the boldest predators think twice before venturing too close to her watery lair. In the stories of the river people, the anaconda is not just a predator, but a guardian spirit, sometimes feared, sometimes revered, always respected. Arowana is more than just a snake. She is the silent, untamed spirit of the Amazon itself. In her, the wildness and mystery of this ancient forest live on, undisturbed and eternal. She is the ghost of the swamps, a living legend whose story is written in the mud, the water, and the fear and awe of all who share her world. To the people who call the Amazon home, the anaconda is a symbol of the river's power and unpredictability, a reminder that, in this place, the line between myth and reality is as fluid as the waters themselves. As the relentless dry season tightens its grip on the Amazon, the mighty rivers that once surged with life now shrink and fragment. Waterways recede, exposing vast sun-baked mudflats and leaving behind isolated pools that shimmer in the heat. The air is thick with humidity, and the forest's chorus grows quieter as animals adapt to the scarcity of water. This dramatic transformation marks a pivotal moment for countless creatures, each responding in their own way to the changing landscape. Among these survivors is Arowana, a formidable female anaconda. She lies coiled on the exposed mud, her emerald scales glistening in the filtered sunlight. Deep within her, an ancient urge stirs, an instinct as old as the forest itself. It is time to seek a mate. For Arowana, this is not merely a quest for companionship, but a journey that will determine the future of her kind. The biological drive that compels Arowana is powerful and inescapable. As the dry season peaks, her body undergoes subtle but profound changes. Hormones surge, triggering the release of pheromones and preparing her reproductive system for the coming ordeal. Her appetite wanes, replaced by a singular focus to find a mate and ensure the continuation of her lineage. This drive is not unique to Arowana. Across the Amazon, female anacondas are similarly compelled, their internal clocks synchronized with the rhythms of the forest and the cycles of the river. The journey she faces is fraught with environmental challenges. On land, Arowana is slow and cumbersome, a giant out of her element. She must contend with swarms of biting fire ants, their stings a painful reminder of her vulnerability. Predators like jaguars prowl the riverbanks, their keen eyes searching for any sign of weakness. The cracked earth burns beneath her belly, and every step forward is a gamble, a test of her resilience and determination. Dehydration is a constant threat, as the once abundant water sources dwindle to muddy puddles. Yet Arowana is not alone in her quest. She releases a potent chemical signal, a pheromone, into the air, an invisible message carried on the humid breeze. This scent is her call, a beacon that can travel for miles, reaching the nostrils of males hidden deep within the forest. The pheromone is irresistible, a promise of new life and the continuation of the species. The males, equipped with highly sensitive Jacobson's organs, can detect these chemical cues with astonishing precision, even when the source is far away. Across the vast expanse of the Amazon, male anacondas respond. Their tongues flick the air, deciphering the faint chemical trail. Compelled by instinct, they abandon their own territories, embarking on a journey that may take days. The forest becomes a network of invisible highways, all leading to Arowana. For the males, this is a race against time and rivals. Only the strongest, most determined will reach the female, and only those in peak condition will have a chance to compete. For Arowana, the journey is long and arduous. She pushes onward, drawn toward a secluded swamp, a secret gathering place known only to her kind. The path is treacherous, winding through tangled roots, fallen branches, and deep, sucking mud. Each obstacle is a reminder of the harsh reality of survival in the Amazon. The swamp is not just a destination, but a stage for one of nature's most remarkable rituals. She must remain vigilant. The forest is alive with hidden dangers. Predators, rival snakes, and the ever-present threat of dehydration. But Arowana's determination is unwavering. Every sense is attuned to her environment, every muscle primed for action. The journey is a test of endurance, a gauntlet that only the strongest will survive. At last she arrives with a final surge of effort. Arowana slips into the cool, dark waters of the swamp. The surface ripples, then stills as she disappears beneath. Here, the world is transformed. Shadows dance across the water, and the air is thick with the scent of other snakes. The swamp is a crucible, a place where only the most resilient and resourceful anacondas can hope to succeed. The swamp is alive with anticipation. The air is heavy, saturated with pheromones and the promise of new beginnings. For Arowana, it is a sensory overload. Every movement, every scent confirms that she has reached the heart of the ancient ritual. The water is thick with the presence of other anacondas, each drawn by the same irresistible call. Dozens of males have gathered, drawn from miles around by her call. They wait, coiled and alert, their bodies weaving through the water and mud. Each one is ready to compete, to prove his strength and claim the right to mate. The tension is palpable as the males size each other up, preparing for the contest to come. Arowana becomes the center of attention, the prize at the heart of a swirling mass of bodies. The males circle her, each vying for position, their movements both graceful and intense. The ritual has begun, a contest of strength, endurance, and instinct. The males form a living knot around the female, a phenomenon known as a mating ball. For hours, sometimes even days, they wrestle and entwine, each attempting to align himself with Arowana and secure the opportunity to pass on his genes. The stage is set for one of nature's most extraordinary spectacles. The mating ball, a writhing, living knot of snakes, embodies the raw power and mystery of the Amazon. Here, in the heart of the swamp, the ancient dance of life and survival plays out, ensuring that the legacy of the anaconda endures for another generation. The strongest male, through sheer persistence and strength, will eventually succeed, while the others drift away exhausted. For Arowana, the ordeal is not over. She must now recover and prepare for the next challenge, bringing forth the next generation in the unforgiving heart of the Amazon. Deep within the flooded swamps of the Amazon, as the rainy season transforms the forest floor into a vast, shimmering expanse of water, A truly extraordinary event is set in motion. The air is thick with humidity, and the dense canopy above filters the sunlight into shifting patterns on the water's surface. Here dozens of male anacondas, each one a powerful predator in his own right, are drawn by an invisible force, the pheromones released by a single massive female known as arowana. Her scent travels silently through the water, a chemical signal that can be detected from astonishing distances, summoning males from far and wide. Each male is compelled by instinct, driven by the rare and precious opportunity to mate with a female of arowana's formidable size and strength, a chance that may come only once in a lifetime. The science behind this gathering is as fascinating as the spectacle itself. Anacondas, like many snakes, possess a highly developed Jacobson's organ, a sensory structure in the roof of the mouth that allows them to detect chemical cues in their environment. As arowana releases her pheromones, the males flick their tongues, drawing in microscopic particles from the water and air, and analyzing them with this specialized organ. This ability enables them to track her through the labyrinthine waterways of the flooded forest, even when she is hidden from view. As the males converge, the ritual of the mating ball begins, a phenomenon unique to these giant serpents, and one of the most spectacular mating displays in the animal kingdom. The water churns with movement as the snakes approach, their bodies gliding effortlessly through the murky depths. The scene is both ancient and primal, a living testament to the enduring power of nature's cycles, but beneath the surface a complex interplay of biology and behavior is at work. The mating ball is a marvel of evolutionary adaptation. Unlike many reptiles, anacondas are ovoviviparous, meaning the female retains the eggs inside her body until they hatch, giving birth to live young. This makes the selection of a mate especially critical, as the female invests enormous energy in producing and carrying her offspring. The competition among males is therefore intense, with each one striving to prove his genetic fitness. One by one the males begin to wrap themselves around arowana, their muscular bodies entwining in a living knot. The competition is fierce but not violent. Each snake is vying for the prime position closest to her, hoping to be the one to fertilize her eggs. The males use their strength and agility to maneuver, pushing and squeezing, their scales glistening as they slide over one another in the muddy water. The female, much larger and heavier than any of her suitors, remains at the center of this living mass, her presence commanding and serene. The males are equipped with small vestigial limbs called pelvic spurs, remnants of their evolutionary past. During the mating ball, these spurs are used to stimulate the female and to jostle for position, scratching and rubbing against her scales. This tactile communication is subtle but crucial, as it may help the female assess the fitness of her suitors. Soon arowana is engulfed by a writhing mass of serpents. The mating ball can contain up to a dozen or more males, all coiled tightly around the female and each other. Their bodies twist and turn, creating a mesmerizing, chaotic spectacle, a living sculpture of muscle and instinct. The water around them is alive with movement, the surface broken by the occasional flash of a scale or the ripple of a powerful tail. Despite the intensity of the competition, this is a contest of endurance, not aggression. There are no fangs bared, no blood drawn, only patience and persistence. The males must outlast one another, relying on their stamina and determination rather than brute force. The struggle is silent, almost meditative, as the snakes conserve their energy for the long ordeal ahead. The competition can last for days, sometimes even weeks. Throughout it all, arowana remains almost motionless at the core, conserving her strength as the males battle around her. Her stillness is deceptive. She is the prize, and her patience is as vital as the male's persistence. She must endure the relentless pressure, the constant shifting of bodies, until only the most determined suitor remains. Gradually, the weaker males tire and slip away, unable to maintain their grip or match the stamina of their rivals. Only the strongest, most persistent male will succeed, his endurance and determination setting him apart from the rest. This is natural selection in its purest form, a test of physical and mental fortitude. The victorious male's genes will be passed on, ensuring that the next generation inherits the qualities that allowed him to triumph. The exhausted males, their energy spent, slowly disperse into the swamp, slipping away into the shadows of the flooded forest. Their purpose for now is fulfilled. Some may never have another chance, while others will try again in future seasons. For the Amazon's anacondas, the mating ball is both a crucible and a proving ground, a place where only the fittest survive. Arowana, now pregnant, has secured her lineage. She will carry her developing young for months, relying on the energy reserves she built up before the mating season. During this time she will eat little, conserving her strength for the demanding months ahead. The evolutionary strategy of live birth offers her offspring a better chance of survival, as they are born fully formed and ready to face the challenges of the wild. As the mating ball dissolves, the swamp gradually returns to its quiet rhythm. The water settles, the sounds of struggle fade, and the forest resumes its ancient song. For Arowana, a new phase of her life begins, one of patience, protection, and preparation. She must now find a safe place to bring new life into the world, seeking out a secluded spot where her young can hatch and grow, away from the many dangers of the Amazon. In time, her offspring will emerge, inheriting the strength and resilience of their parents, and the cycle will begin anew, ensuring that the ghostly giants of the Amazon will continue to haunt these waters for generations to come. The spectacle of the mating ball is more than a dramatic display. It is a living laboratory of evolution, a crucible where the forces of natural selection shape the future of the species. Through this ancient ritual, the Amazon's anacondas ensure their survival, adapting and thriving in one of the world's most challenging environments. The legacy of the mating ball is written in the genes of every new generation, a testament to the enduring power of life in the heart of the rainforest. With the tumult of mating season behind her, Arowana, the great green anaconda, slips away from the chaos and noise of the riverbanks. Instinct draws her to solitude, a deep, ancient urge to protect the fragile lives growing within her. In this isolation, she becomes a silent sentinel, her senses attuned to every shift in her watery world. Anacondas are ovoviviparous. Their young develop inside, nourished by yolk, safe from the dangers that lurk in the open water. Arowana's body becomes both sanctuary and shield, her every movement measured and deliberate. She is driven by instinct, a force honed by countless generations of survivors. For 7 long months she carries her precious cargo, her pace slows, her senses sharpen. Every ripple in the water, every shadow overhead is met with suspicion. She is fiercely defensive, ready to strike at any sign of danger. The perils are many. Jaguars, caimans, and even rival anacondas all pose threats to her and her unborn young. Guided by instinct, Arowana retreats to a hidden pool, far from the prying eyes of predators and rivals. Here, in the tangled embrace of reeds and lilies, she finds the seclusion she needs. The world narrows to this secret haven, where she will spend most of her pregnancy in silence and shadow. In this solitude she is both vulnerable and powerful, a paradox at the heart of her existence. She rarely hunts, relying on the fat reserves built up during the abundant months. Every calorie is precious, conserved for the monumental task ahead. Hunger gnaws at her, but the drive to protect her unborn young is stronger. Her patience and restraint are as vital as her strength. All around her the Amazon pulses with life. Birds call, monkeys leap, and fish dart through the shallows, yet Arowana remains apart, a silent guardian, her world reduced to the quiet pool and the lives she carries within. Her solitude is not just for protection, it is a vital part of the ecosystem, ensuring the next generation of apex predators will one day take their place in the food web. The warm, secluded water is perfect for incubation. Here the temperature remains stable, the currents gentle, a cradle shaped by the rainforest itself. The pool becomes a nursery, a place where life is shielded from the chaos beyond. Her massive size is her greatest defense. Few creatures dare approach, and those that do are met with a display of raw power. Still, Arowana takes no chances. Ever watchful, ever wary, the balance she maintains between aggression and caution shapes the delicate equilibrium of the Amazon's predator hierarchy. As her body swells, she feels the subtle stirrings of life within. The young move, restless, their time drawing near. Each flutter is a promise, a future she must protect at all costs. Her instincts sharpen, guiding her through the final, most perilous weeks. The rains return, drenching the forest and flooding the swamps. The world transforms, water rising all around her. Soon the time will come, the next generation of giants will be born, and Arowana's long solitude will end. In her isolation, she has played a vital role ensuring the survival of her species and maintaining the balance of the Amazon itself. In the shadowy, tangled depths of the Amazon, Arowana, the great anaconda, gives birth to nearly 30 live young. Each is a perfect miniature of their mother, already 1/2 meter long, and thrust into a world where danger lurks at every turn. There is no gentle welcome, no nest, no protection, only the cold embrace of the swamp. Unlike many snakes, anacondas do not lay eggs. Instead, the young emerge fully formed, wriggling and alert, ready to face the perils of their birthplace. From the very first moment, these newborns are on their own. Instinct drives them to swim, to hunt, and to defend themselves. Their senses are sharp, tongues flicking, tasting the water for the scent of prey or predator. They must learn quickly, for hesitation can mean death. The first hours are critical. The young scatter, each seeking shelter among the tangled roots and floating vegetation, desperate to avoid the attention of hungry eyes. The swamp is a battlefield. Predators, birds, fish, caimans are everywhere, each waiting for a careless movement. Even the water itself is treacherous, concealing threats beneath its surface. There are no gentle beginnings here. Survival is immediate and brutal. Piranhas patrol the shallows, herons strike from above, and caimans lurk in the reeds, all eager for an easy meal. Arowana's role as a mother ends the moment her young are born. She offers no protection, no guidance. In fact, she is a threat herself. If a newborn lingers too close, she may consume it without hesitation. In this world, even a mother can be a predator. The young must recognize this danger and keep their distance, learning early that trust is a luxury they cannot afford. The swamp is alive with danger. Birds swoop from above, fish strike from below, and caimans glide silently through the water. Even siblings can become rivals, competing for food and space. Every shadow, every ripple could spell disaster. The young anacondas must remain constantly alert, their survival dependent on their ability to sense and evade threats. To survive, the young anacondas must scatter quickly, vanishing into the tangled roots and dense aquatic plants. Camouflage is their first defense. Blending with the dappled light and shifting shadows, they become nearly invisible to hungry eyes. They use every crevice, every patch of shade to hide from predators, relying on their cryptic coloration and stillness. Their small size is both a shield and a curse. It allows them to hide in places larger predators cannot reach, but it also makes them vulnerable, fragile, easily overwhelmed by the relentless threats that surround them. Every movement is calculated, every decision a matter of life or death. Driven by hunger, they hunt tirelessly. Tiny fish, amphibians, and insects become their first meals. Every successful hunt is a small victory, fueling rapid growth and increasing their odds of survival. The young must learn to strike quickly and retreat, avoiding drawing attention to themselves as they feed. Yet the odds are grim. Of the 30 born, only a handful will survive the first year. The rest will fall to predators, starvation, or the unforgiving elements of the swamp. The journey from birth to independence is fraught with loss, each day a test of resilience. Disease, hunger, and predation claim most. The weak and the unlucky are quickly weeded out, their brief lives ending almost as soon as they begin. Even the weather can be a deadly foe. Sudden floods or cold snaps can wipe out entire broods in a single night. Only the strongest, the most cunning, and the luckiest will endure, growing larger, more skilled, and one day perhaps ruling the swamp as their mother does. Each shed skin marks a milestone, a testament to survival against the odds. For these young anacondas, the perilous journey has only just begun. Each day is a test of survival, a battle against the odds in the heart of the Amazon's unforgiving wild. Those who make it through the gauntlet of their early days will emerge as true survivors, ghosts of the swamp, ready to carve out their own destinies in the shadowy world of the Amazon. Weeks after giving birth, hunger gnaws at Arowana, the great anaconda. Driven by instinct and necessity, she abandons her secluded nest, her body weakened but her senses razor-sharp. Each movement is deliberate as she glides from the dense jungle, her massive form nearly invisible among the tangled roots and shadows. In the Amazon, the relationship between predator and prey is a constant, silent dance, one that shapes the very fabric of life here. She slips silently into the waterways, her body undulating with practiced grace. The river is her hunting ground, and she is a master of stealth. Using her forked tongue, she samples the air and water, detecting the faintest traces of potential prey. Anacondas rely on ambush, using their camouflage and patience to become nearly invisible, waiting for the right moment to strike. On a muddy riverbank, a herd of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, gather to graze and drink. Their social bonds are strong and their senses keen, but the river's edge is always a place of risk. Capybaras have evolved sharp eyesight, acute hearing, and a complex system of warning calls to alert the group to danger. Their escape strategy is simple but effective. At the first sign of threat, they plunge into the water, using their swimming skills to evade predators. Arowana knows patience is her greatest weapon. She positions herself among the reeds and mud, her mottled skin rendering her nearly invisible. Motionless, she becomes part of the landscape, waiting for the perfect moment. Anacondas often wait for hours, even days, for prey to come within striking distance, relying on their ability to remain undetected. A young capybara, emboldened by curiosity and hunger, edges into the shallows. It is cautious, but unaware of the danger lurking just beneath the surface. Capybaras are always on alert, but the riverbank is a place where vigilance can falter, and a single mistake can be fatal. In a flash, Arowana explodes from her hiding place. Her jaws clamp down with astonishing speed and precision, targeting the capybara's head to prevent escape. Instantly, her muscular coils encircle the struggling animal, each loop tightening with relentless force. The capybara's only hope is to break free and reach the water, but the anaconda's grip is nearly impossible to escape once secured. The capybara thrashes desperately, using every ounce of strength to try and wriggle free. Sometimes a capybara may escape if the snake's grip is not perfect, or if the herd's alarm calls bring help, but today Arowana's grip is unbreakable. With every breath the rodent tries to take, the coils squeeze tighter, cutting off air and blood flow. The struggle is brief. Soon the capybara falls still. With her prey subdued, Arowana unhinges her jaw, beginning the slow, methodical process of swallowing her meal whole. Her flexible ligaments and powerful muscles work in concert, inching the capybara down her throat. This unique feeding technique allows anacondas to consume prey much larger than their own head. This feast will sustain her for weeks, allowing her body to recover and her strength to return. The energy from this single meal is vital for her survival and future reproduction. For the capybara herd, the loss is felt, but it also means more resources for the survivors. As Arowana digests, the balance of the ecosystem is subtly maintained. Her predation keeps the capybara population in check, preventing overgrazing and supporting the health of the riverbank. The predator-prey relationship between anacondas and capybaras is a vital thread in the Amazon's web of life, one that ensures both species and the ecosystem itself continue to thrive. Once again, the queen of the swamp reclaims her dominance, a silent force shaping the Amazon's wild heart. In the heart of the Amazon, where the water runs dark and secrets linger beneath the surface, Arowana is restored, her strength renewed, her hunger sharpened. But now she faces her greatest rival, the black Caiman, a formidable crocodilian and one of the river's most feared hunters. The Amazon is a stage for their ancient rivalry, a place where every encounter is a test of survival and dominance. When these two titans meet, the confrontation is rare but nothing short of legendary. Each encounter is a battle for supremacy, an epic struggle between two apex predators, each capable of ending the other's reign. Their interactions are shaped by caution, strategy, and the ever-present threat of death. One humid afternoon, Arowana glides silently through the shallows. She detects a massive caiman basking on a muddy bank, its armored body soaking up the sun, oblivious to the danger lurking just beneath the surface. Both predators are masters of stealth. Anacondas use camouflage and patience, while caimans rely on their acute senses and powerful jaws. With patience and precision, Arowana approaches, her body perfectly camouflaged among the dense vegetation. The water and plants become her allies, masking her presence as she closes the distance, every muscle coiled with anticipation. The caiman, meanwhile, is always on guard. Its survival depends on detecting the faintest ripple, the slightest movement. The caiman, confident in its own power, remains unaware. In this moment, it is the king of the bank. Yet Arowana holds the element of surprise, a silent shadow in the water. Both creatures have evolved unique survival tactics, the caiman's thick hide and crushing bite, the anaconda's constricting coils and ambush skills. In a flash, Arowana erupts from the water, her jaws latching onto the caiman's body, her coils wrapped tight, each loop a vice of muscle and power. The caiman thrashes, jaws snapping, water exploding in a frenzy of violence. In these dramatic encounters, the outcome is never certain. Sometimes the caiman escapes, leaving the anaconda with wounds. Other times the snake's grip is unbreakable. The struggle is desperate and primal. The caiman fights with every ounce of strength, its tail lashing, claws raking, but Arowana's grip is relentless. She drags her rival into deeper water where her advantage grows. The balance of power shifts with every twist and turn. Sometimes the caiman's powerful bite can break free, but in the water, the anaconda's strength is unmatched. It's a brutal clash. Constrictor versus crusher. Each is a master of its own domain, but only one can emerge victorious. The Amazon's food web is unforgiving, and every victory comes at a cost. These encounters are rare, but when they happen, they echo through the ecosystem, shifting the balance of power. Slowly, inexorably, Arowana's grip prevails. The caiman's struggles weaken, its powerful body succumbing to the relentless pressure. At last the fight is over, the caiman's fate sealed in the coils of the Amazon's ghost. For the anaconda, survival depends on patience, strength, and the ability to outlast even the fiercest opponent. Arowana has defeated her greatest rival, cementing her status as the swamp's ultimate power. In this moment she is both hunter and survivor, a force that shapes the balance of life in these waters. The Amazon's apex predators are locked in a constant dance, sometimes predator, sometimes prey, always adapting to survive. The reward is immense, a meal that will sustain her for months. Yet the caiman's fate ripples outward. As Arowana feeds, scavengers gather, and nutrients return to the ecosystem. In the Amazon, every victory and every loss is woven into the endless cycle of life and death, predator and prey, shaping the destiny of the rainforest itself. Here the balance of power is never fixed. Each encounter Each survival tactic and each dramatic struggle ensures that the ghost of the Amazon remains both feared and revered. And the Amazon is a living tapestry woven from countless lives and stories. This is the most biodiverse place on Earth, home to more species of plants and animals than anywhere else. Here, Arowana's kingdom pulses with energy. Each species, from the tiniest insect to the mightiest predator, is a vital thread in this intricate web. The rainforest is never silent. It hums with the calls, songs, and warnings of its inhabitants, each voice a testament to the abundance and complexity of life. High above, howler monkeys roar, their voices echoing for miles, marking territory and warning rivals. Capuchins and squirrel monkeys leap through the branches, foraging for fruit and insects, their nimble hands always searching, always alert. The canopy is a world unto itself, layered with life, birds, mammals, reptiles, and insects, all competing and cooperating in a delicate balance. On the forest floor, army ants march in relentless columns, devouring everything in their path. Nearby, a jaguar moves like a shadow, its presence felt but rarely seen. Poison dart frogs, no bigger than a thumb, flash their brilliant warning colors, tiny jewels that can bring death with a single touch. Every inch of the Amazon is alive with both beauty and peril, where survival depends on adaptation and awareness. In the open sky, macaws and toucans paint the air with color and sound. Macaws gather at clay licks, their raucous calls a daily celebration, while toucans watch from above, their beaks as bright as the flowers they feed on. The Amazon's birds are as diverse as its trees, each species filling a unique niche in this vibrant ecosystem. On the ground, the tapir moves with quiet caution, its sensitive nose testing the air for danger. Every step is measured, for jaguars and ocelots prowl these shadows, ever hungry, ever patient. The rainforest is a place where every creature, large or small, must navigate a world of constant risk and opportunity. In the rivers, black caimans reign supreme, their armored bodies gliding silently as they guard their young. Piranhas swirl in the murky depths, while pink river dolphins break the surface, their playful leaps a rare moment of peace in these predator-filled waters. The waterways are arteries of life and danger, connecting the forest and sustaining its endless diversity. Every creature, from the tireless leafcutter ant to the slow-moving sloth, plays a part in this ancient drama. Insects pollinate, mammals disperse seeds, and together they sustain the forest's endless cycle of life and death. The Amazon's biodiversity is its greatest wonder, a living engine that powers the planet's climate and breathes life into the world. And then there is Arowana, the great anaconda. As one of the Amazon's apex predators, she is both feared and revered. Her hunts are silent, swift, and decisive. She controls populations, keeping the balance between predator and prey. The anaconda's presence is a reminder of the rainforest's raw power and the delicate equilibrium that sustains it. Her existence is woven into the very fabric of this world. As a keystone species, Arowana's absence would send ripples through the ecosystem. Without her, prey would multiply unchecked, and the delicate balance would collapse. Her life is a thread that holds the rainforest together, her influence felt in every corner of this vast domain. Her body weaves through roots and rivers, her scales blending with the earth and water. She is both guardian and hunter, her existence intertwined with every life she touches. The anaconda is a symbol of the Amazon's wonders and dangers. Mysterious, powerful, and essential. In the Amazon, every day is a struggle between survival and harmony. Wonders and dangers are never far apart. As night falls, the jungle's secrets deepen, and the ancient dance of life continues, unbroken, untamed, and forever wild. Here, biodiversity is both a marvel and a challenge, and the anaconda remains at the heart of this extraordinary world. In the heart of South America lies a kingdom unlike any other, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of life, where every leaf, Every drop of water and every creature plays a part in a delicate balance. This is the Amazon, a realm both ancient and fragile, where the interconnectedness of all things forms a web so intricate that the loss of even a single strand can unravel the whole. Here the air hums with the energy of millions of species, each dependent on the other for survival, yet this kingdom faces a relentless invader: humanity. The Amazon is vanishing before our eyes, its emerald expanse carved away for ranching, farming, and logging. Each scar left behind is a wound that bleeds life from the forest. The destruction is not just physical, it is a disruption of the very processes that sustain this ecosystem. Deforestation shatters the intricate web of life, leaving countless species homeless and vulnerable. The loss of ancient trees means the loss of shelter, food, and the very foundation of this ecosystem. For many, extinction is no longer a distant threat, it is a daily reality. The balance that has endured for millennia is now teetering on the edge. Rivers and swamps, once lifelines of abundance, are now poisoned by illegal mining and pollution. Toxins seep into the water, accumulating in the bodies of top predators and echoing through the food chain. The very veins of the Amazon are turning toxic, threatening not only aquatic life, but every creature that depends on these waters. For Arowana, the queen of this realm, the water that once sustained her now threatens her very existence. Each breath, each hunt, is a gamble with invisible poisons. The Anaconda, once a master of her domain, now faces dangers she cannot see or avoid. The loss of the Amazon is not just a local tragedy, it is a global catastrophe. This forest breathes for the planet, regulating climate, storing carbon, and harboring a treasure trove of biodiversity yet to be discovered. Its collapse would send shockwaves far beyond its borders, altering weather patterns and threatening life worldwide. The Amazon's fragile ecosystem is a masterpiece of interdependence. Every organism, from the tiniest insect to the largest predator, plays a role in maintaining the balance. Remove one, and the effects ripple outward, destabilizing the entire system. Arowana, the anaconda, is more than a predator. She is a keystone species, a vital thread in the Amazon's web. As an apex predator, she helps regulate populations of prey, maintaining the balance between species. Her presence shapes the ecosystem, influencing the health and diversity of the entire forest. The fate of Arowana mirrors the fate of the entire ecosystem. When she thrives, so does the forest. When she suffers, the kingdom trembles. The loss of a keystone species like the anaconda would send shockwaves through the food web, leading to unpredictable and often devastating consequences. Saving this fragile kingdom demands global cooperation and deep respect for its original guardians, the indigenous peoples whose wisdom and stewardship have protected these lands for generations. Conservationists, scientists, and local communities must unite to defend the Amazon's future. By protecting the Amazon, we do more than save a forest. We preserve a living legacy, a future for Arowana, her kingdom, and for ourselves. The Queen's fate is our own. The survival of this fragile ecosystem and its keystone species is a testament to our commitment to the planet and to generations yet unborn. Warathrya. Long before scientists named her Eunictes murinus, and long before maps charted the Amazon's winding veins, the people of the rainforest wove intricate myths about a serpent unlike any other, a being whose presence shaped the very soul of the jungle. In Amazonian folklore, the anaconda is not just an animal. She is a spirit, a guardian and a force of nature whose stories ripple through generations. Among the Yanomami, she is Yakumama, mother of the waters, believed to birth the rivers themselves. Her immense body is said to carve the waterways, her spirit nourishing the land and its people. When the forest floods and the waters rise, villagers whisper that it is the Queen's breath that cools the rains, a sign of her power and her connection to the cycles of life. Fishermen and families leave offerings on the riverbank, fruits, flowers, and even songs, hoping to appease her spirit. seeking protection and bountiful catches. These rituals are woven into daily life, a living tradition that honors the River Queen. Legends warn that those who disrespect the forest or the river may find themselves ensnared by her coils, vanishing without a trace. These cautionary tales are shared with children, teaching respect for the land and its mysteries. Around fires beneath the moon, elders recount the story of the Boyuna, the black snake who can transform into a beautiful woman. She tests the hearts of those who wander the riverbanks at night, rewarding the pure and punishing the greedy. The Boyuna's wrath is legendary. She conjures storms and floods to punish those who take more than they need, reminding all that greed disrupts the balance of the forest. For indigenous communities, the anaconda is a symbol of fertility, transformation, and the eternal cycle of life and death. Ceremonies and dances celebrate her, invoking her spirit for blessings and guidance. Her legend influences how people fish, farm, and travel, reminding them that every creature, seen or unseen, is part of the Amazon's great story. The River Queen's presence is felt in every ripple and shadow. These myths echo through the canopy, binding communities to the land and to each other. The stories are a living testament to the respect and awe the anaconda inspires. In every legend, Arowana is more than a predator. She is the living spirit of the Amazon, her myth shaping the beliefs, rituals, and daily lives of those who call the rainforest home. Beneath the emerald canopy, and along the tangled riverbanks, life teems in astonishing variety. Here the Amazon is a living laboratory of predator and prey, where every creature is both hunter and hunted. The anaconda, one of the river's most formidable predators, is at the heart of this intricate web. For her, every ripple on the water and every rustle in the reeds signals opportunity or danger. She glides silently through the water, her senses attuned to the faintest vibrations. The reeds conceal her massive form, allowing her to ambush unsuspecting prey. Her world is shared with countless creatures, each playing their part in the delicate balance of the Amazon. The predator-prey dynamic here is a constant push and pull, a test of adaptation and survival. Capybaras, the world's largest rodents, graze in family groups at the water's edge. They are a favored meal for the anaconda, but their social structure and vigilance make them difficult targets. Agile caimans glide silently beneath the surface, their eyes just above the waterline. These reptiles are both competitors and potential prey for the anaconda, leading to a tense coexistence. Wading birds stalk the shallows, hunting for fish and amphibians. They must remain alert, for the anaconda's strike is swift and silent. Peccaries and deer wander the muddy trails, their keen senses helping them avoid predators. The anaconda's patience is tested as she waits for the perfect moment to strike. Even the elusive jaguar, the river's other apex predator, sometimes crosses her path. While rare, confrontations between these titans can occur, each sizing up the other in a silent contest of strength and strategy. But survival here is a game of patience and precision. The anaconda, a master of ambush, waits motionless in the murky shallows. Her prey is diverse: fish, birds, mammals, and even the occasional caiman. Each hunt is a calculated risk, requiring perfect timing and immense strength. She strikes with explosive speed, coiling her muscular body around her quarry. Constriction is her weapon, cutting off the prey's air and ending the struggle quickly. Yet her hunts are rare and risky. A single mistake could mean injury or starvation. The Amazon's predators must weigh every move, for the cost of failure is high. Still, for every successful hunt, many more animals escape. The capybara's sharp senses and the caiman's agility often foil the anaconda's plans. The wary capybara learns to sense the subtle shift of water, a sign that danger lurks below. Caiman mothers guard their young fiercely, defending them from both anacondas and other predators. Flocks of birds erupt into flight at the slightest threat, their collective vigilance a powerful defense. Each species has evolved its own strategies, keen senses, camouflage, and agility, to survive in this world of constant peril. Strength in numbers is another defense, as herds and flocks reduce the odds of any one individual falling victim. This dance of predator and prey shapes the river's ecosystem. The presence of top predators like the anaconda and jaguar regulates populations, preventing any single species from overwhelming the environment. When the anaconda feeds, she keeps populations in check, ensuring no single species dominates. This balance maintains the health and diversity of the rainforest. In turn, her own young become prey for larger hunters, caimans, birds of prey, and even other anacondas, woven into the endless cycle of life and death. In the Amazon, balance is everything. The predator-prey relationships are not just about survival, but about shaping the very fabric of the ecosystem. The River Queen may rule with silent strength, but her reign depends on the resilience and cunning of those she hunts. Each interaction, each chase and escape, is a thread in the Amazon's living tapestry. Together, predator and prey create a dynamic equilibrium, one where every life, great or small, has its place in the eternal flow of the rainforest. The Amazon's future depends on this delicate balance, maintained by the constant interplay of hunter and hunted. Beneath the ancient rhythms of predator and prey, a new and relentless threat is rising, one that no creature, not even the mighty anaconda, can outwit or outrun. Climate change is casting long, ominous shadows over the Amazon, transforming the world the anaconda calls home. Rainfall patterns are shifting, and the very heartbeat of the forest is changing. Once predictable floods that swelled the rivers and nourished the swamps now arrive late, or sometimes not at all, disrupting the cycles that have shaped life here for millennia. In some years, searing droughts parch the land, shrinking the wetlands where the anaconda hunts and breeds, and leaving behind a landscape of cracked earth and vanishing pools. In others, torrential rains unleash catastrophic floods, sweeping away nests, eggs, and the young, and eroding the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Scientists warn that rising temperatures and rampant deforestation are transforming the very fabric of the rainforest. Each tree lost is a blow to the intricate web of life. As trees fall and water evaporates, the lush, tangled canopy thins, exposing the forest floor to the relentless sun. Sunlight bakes the exposed earth, and once vibrant waterways dwindle to muddy trickles, threatening the survival of countless species. For the anaconda, these changes are profound and perilous. With less water, her hunting grounds shrink, prey becomes scarce, and the struggle for survival intensifies. The delicate balance of life she depends on begins to unravel as food webs are disrupted and competition grows fiercer. Capybaras, caimans, and countless other species must adapt, migrate, or perish as their habitats fragment and resources dwindle. Even the anaconda's eggs, sensitive to temperature and humidity, face new risks. Higher temperatures and drier nests threaten their survival before life even begins. Researchers predict that if the Amazon loses too much of its forest cover, it could tip into a drier savanna-like state, a transformation that would threaten the survival of the River Queen and reshape the entire ecosystem. The fate of the anaconda and of the countless lives intertwined with hers now hangs in the balance. Yet hope remains as the world awakens to the urgency of this crisis. Conservationists and scientists are working tirelessly to protect the rainforest, restore lost habitats, and understand how its creatures adapt. Reforestation projects, wildlife corridors, and community-led conservation efforts are making a difference. The story of the anaconda is not just one of survival against tooth and claw, but of resilience in the face of a changing world. The adaptability of the Amazon's creatures offers hope for the future. As the Amazon's future unfolds, the River Queen's fate will echo the choices humanity makes today. The preservation of this vast wilderness depends on global action and local stewardship. In the struggle to preserve this kingdom, every action matters. The next chapter is still unwritten, and together we can help ensure the anaconda's story continues for generations to come. Yet even as shadows loom over the Amazon, a new force rises, one of hope, determination, and collective action. Across the rainforest and beyond, dedicated guardians are stepping forward to defend the anaconda and the world she inhabits. In the heart of the jungle, conservationists trek through dense undergrowth, monitoring the health of wetlands and marking vital breeding grounds. Among them are indigenous guardians, keepers of ancient wisdom, who know every bend of the river and every call of the forest. Their stories are woven into the land, and their vigilance is tireless. Indigenous patrols mark sacred sites and territory boundaries, using traditional knowledge to protect both the anaconda and the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Their mission is clear: protect the habitats that sustain the river queen and the intricate web of life around her. Cut to an interview with a Brazilian biologist, her face shaded beneath a wide-brimmed hat. "The anaconda is a symbol of the Amazon's power and mystery," she says. "By safeguarding her, we protect countless other species and the very spirit of this forest." Scientific teams work tirelessly, tagging anacondas with GPS trackers to study their movements, collecting water samples to monitor pollution, and setting camera traps to document elusive wildlife. At night, researchers analyze data and share discoveries, piecing together the puzzle of the Amazon's health and the anaconda's survival. We see community rangers patrolling riverbanks, working hand in hand with local villagers. They teach sustainable fishing and farming, showing how people and wildlife can thrive together without destroying the fragile ecosystem. Children release young capybaras and turtles back into the wild, their laughter echoing across the water. International efforts are underway as well. Drone footage reveals vast reforestation projects, patches of emerald returning to barren ground. Scientists share data across borders, tracking anaconda populations and mapping climate threats. In a remote classroom, students watch live feeds of anacondas gliding through the reeds, learning that their future is entwined with the fate of the forest. The next generation is learning from both elders and scientists, preparing to become the future guardians of the Green Empire. There are success stories too. In protected reserves, anacondas are spotted more frequently, their numbers slowly rising. Wetland restoration projects have revived once dry habitats, bringing back the chorus of frogs and the splash of otters. Ecotourism brings new income to communities, creating stewards for the rainforest's future. Each small victory is a testament to what's possible when hope is matched by action. The River Queen's reign is not yet over, and as long as her guardians stand watch, the Amazon's wonders may still endure for generations to come. Beneath the mirror-still waters and tangled shadows of the Amazon, the anaconda glides unseen, her presence a ghostly ripple in the current. As an apex predator, she is the product of millions of years of evolution, her body and mind honed for the art of hunting in a world of murky currents and hidden threats. The anaconda's hunting strategy is a masterclass in patience and stealth. She rarely chases. Instead, she waits, motionless, blending with the tangled roots and aquatic plants, her powerful coils ready to spring into action. Her thick, muscular body glides effortlessly beneath the surface, each movement calculated to avoid detection by prey. Unlike many predators that rely on speed, the anaconda's true weapon is her ability to become invisible, her patience outlasting even the most cautious of animals. Her olive-green skin, patterned with black blotches, is a perfect camouflage, allowing her to vanish among floating vegetation and muddy banks, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But it is her extraordinary sensory adaptations that elevate her to the top of the food chain. Flickering her forked tongue, she samples the air and water, collecting invisible scent particles and passing them to the Jacobson's organ, a built-in chemical detector that reveals the presence of prey, mates, or rivals long before they are seen or heard. Her eyes and nostrils, perched atop her head, allow her to breathe and observe, while the rest of her body remains hidden below the surface, giving her a panoramic view of her surroundings while keeping her massive form concealed. Sensitive scales along her jaw detect the faintest vibrations, the footsteps of a capybara, the splash of a bird, or the distant rumble of thunder, each signal a potential opportunity or threat. When the moment is right, the anaconda's attack is sudden and explosive, a blur of motion in the still water. She lunges, coiling her muscular body around her prey with astonishing speed and precision, exerting a crushing force that subdues even the strongest swimmers of the floodplain. Her jaws, unlike those of most animals, can unhinge, allowing her to swallow creatures far larger than her own head, a feat that ensures no meal is wasted. These hunting strategies and sensory adaptations have made the anaconda a legend, a silent, patient, and nearly invisible master of her domain. In the ever-shifting world of the Amazon, her survival depends on ancient instincts, extraordinary senses, and a hunting style built on stealth and surprise. She is nature's blueprint for the ultimate hunter, an apex predator whose power lies not in terror, but in the silent mastery of her environment. As the River Queen slips away into the green twilight, her secrets remain hidden beneath the water, a living testament to the wonders and mysteries that still lurk in the heart of the wild. Long before the Amazon's rivers carved their winding paths through the rainforest, before capybaras grazed on flooded banks and jaguars prowled the shadows, the ancestors of the anaconda were already slithering through ancient wetlands. The story of the anaconda begins in the murky depths of prehistory, an evolutionary saga stretching back over 100 million years to a world ruled by reptiles. Fossil records reveal that the lineage of modern boas and pythons, including the anaconda, originated during the age of the dinosaurs. Ancient relatives, such as the massive titanoboa, once dominated prehistoric South America, growing up to 42 feet long and weighing over a ton. These ancient giants, preserved in stone, offer a glimpse into a time when serpents were among the top predators, shaping the ecosystems around them. Genetic studies trace the green anaconda's roots to a family tree shared with boas across the world, but with unique adaptations that set her apart. Over millions of years, her ancestors migrated, evolved, and diversified, adapting to changing climates and shifting continents. The anaconda's aquatic lifestyle is a relatively recent innovation, a result of South America's vast river systems and seasonal floods. Here, natural selection favored those with powerful, muscular bodies for swimming and hunting in water, and skin patterns that vanished into the dappled light of swamp and stream. Today's anaconda carries the legacy of her prehistoric kin in every scale and muscle, a living relic of an age when reptiles ruled the world. Her genes bear the scars and triumphs of mass extinctions, climate upheavals, and the relentless march of time. As scientists unravel her DNA, they uncover clues to her resilience and power, and to the ancient world she once inherited. From the fossilized bones of Titanoboa to the silent glide of the modern anaconda, this is a story written in earth and water, genes and stone. The River Queen is not just a hunter of today. She is the heir to a dynasty that has survived and adapted for eons, a living echo from deep time, still reigning in the heart of the world's greatest wilderness. Across the Amazon, where the river winds through dense emerald forests, the anaconda is more than a creature of muscle and instinct. She is a spirit woven into the very soul of the land. For countless generations, indigenous peoples have revered the anaconda as a powerful force, her presence felt in myth, art, and ritual. Among the Yanomami, she is called Sukuriju, the great mother of waters, believed to have shaped the rivers themselves with her colossal coils. In the legends of the Taikuna, the anaconda is a primordial being who brought fertility to the land, her movements carving out the very veins of the rainforest. Elders tell of a time when the world was water and darkness, and it was the great serpent who rose from the depths, carrying the first people on her back to the safety of dry land. In sacred ceremonies, shamans don anaconda skin patterns and chant ancient songs, invoking her spirit for protection, rain, or healing. Her image adorns pottery, body paint, and woven baskets, swirling designs that echo the river's flow and the serpent's silent passage. Some believe that to see an anaconda in the wild is a sign of transformation, a message from the spirit world demanding respect and humility. Yet the anaconda is also a guardian and a warning. Stories abound of those who disrespected the river or its creatures, only to be swallowed by the serpent and transformed forever. For many she is both creator and destroyer, a symbol of life's cycles and the wild, untamable heart of the jungle. Through every tale and ritual, the anaconda endures as more than an animal. She is a bridge between worlds, a living myth whose coils bind the past and present, the seen and unseen. In the Amazon, her legend is as deep as the rivers she rules, and her spirit as enduring as the forest itself. Beneath the surface of Amazonian waters, the anaconda is more than a legend. She is a keystone of the ecosystem, shaping the balance of life across floodplains and forests. As an apex predator, the anaconda preys on a wide spectrum of animals, from fish and birds to capybaras, caimans, and even the occasional jaguar. Her presence helps regulate populations, ensuring that no single species grows too dominant and disrupts the delicate harmony of the wetlands. Yet the anaconda is not without her own dangers. As a juvenile, she faces threats from wading birds, caimans, and larger fish. Even as an adult, she must be wary of the jaguar, the only predator bold enough to challenge her in the tangled jungle. In rare encounters, these titans of the rainforest test the limits of strength and stealth. But the anaconda's impact goes beyond individual hunts. When she consumes a large prey animal, nutrients are redistributed throughout the ecosystem, feeding scavengers and decomposers alike. Her movement through the waterways stirs up sediment, aerating the water and supporting aquatic life. In this intricate food web, every action ripples outward, connecting predator and prey, plant and animal, water and earth. As the great serpent glides unseen, she reminds us that every creature has a part to play. The survival of the Amazon depends on these hidden connections, where the fate of the forest is entwined with the silent passage of its most mysterious hunter. In the heart of the Amazon, the anaconda has long inspired both awe and apprehension among those who share her domain. For centuries, indigenous peoples have respected her as a spirit of the waters, a being to be revered, not provoked. Yet as explorers and scientists ventured deeper into the rainforest, human encounters with the giant serpent became stories of intrigue, caution, and sometimes fascination. Modern expeditions now seek to unravel the mysteries that legends first hinted at. Researchers glide through murky waters in silent canoes equipped not with spears but with cameras, GPS trackers, and drones. Night vision and thermal imaging reveal the nocturnal wanderings of these elusive giants, while DNA sampling from shed skins and environmental water samples help scientists map their hidden populations. With every discovery, the anaconda's story grows richer. Studies have unveiled her surprising adaptability, thriving even in floodplains altered by seasonal changes and sometimes by human activity. New technology has revealed how far she travels, how she chooses her prey, and even how she communicates through subtle movements and vibrations in the water. But these encounters are not without risk or controversy. Conservationists and local communities must balance respect for the serpent with the realities of living alongside such a formidable neighbor. In some regions, anacondas are threatened by habitat loss, pollution, and fear-driven persecution. Yet each expedition brings not just data, but a renewed sense of wonder. The anaconda, once shrouded in myth, now stands as a symbol of both the unknown and the interconnectedness of life in the Amazon. Through the lens of science, we glimpse her world, and with every encounter, we are reminded of our shared responsibility to protect it. The Amazon's green empire, once thought endless, now faces threats as vast as its rivers. For the anaconda, survival depends not only on ancient instincts, but on the fate of the land and water she calls home. Deforestation carves scars through the rainforest, draining swamps and silencing the chorus of life. As climate change shifts the rhythm of rain and drought, floodplains shrink or vanish, leaving fewer places for the river queen to hide, to hunt, and to raise her young. Yet hope glimmers beneath the canopy. Across South America, dedicated conservationists, scientists, and indigenous leaders are joining forces to defend the wetlands and forests vital to the anaconda's future. Protected reserves now span thousands of square miles, safeguarding crucial breeding grounds and migration corridors. In some regions, community-led patrols and sustainable tourism offer new livelihoods, turning the presence of the giant snake from a source of fear to a symbol of pride. Satellite monitoring and environmental DNA are helping to track elusive populations, guiding efforts to restore degraded habitats and reconnect fragmented riverways. International partnerships are bringing resources and attention to the Amazon's most threatened corners. And perhaps most importantly, the voices of those who have lived alongside the anaconda for generations are shaping the way forward, reminding the world that true guardianship means harmony, not domination. Still, the battle is far from over. Each tree felled, each wetland drained brings new challenges, but every successful rescue, every thriving nest is a testament to what can be achieved when science, tradition, and determination unite. In safeguarding the anaconda, we safeguard the intricate web of life that sustains us all, preserving the wild heart of the Amazon for generations yet to come. For centuries, the anaconda has slithered through the imaginations of storytellers and filmmakers, its legend growing with every retelling. In books and documentaries, the River Queen is often cast as both villain and wonder, a creature of awe, mystery, and sometimes fear. Hollywood blockbusters have transformed the anaconda into a monster of the deep, exaggerating its size and ferocity for thrills and suspense. These dramatic portrayals, while captivating, often overshadow the reality of the anaconda's true nature. On the pages of adventure novels and in the glow of television screens, the anaconda becomes a symbol, sometimes of danger, sometimes of the wild's untamed beauty. Documentaries guided by science and respect reveal a different side: the patient hunter, the nurturing mother, the vital link in the Amazon's ecosystem. Through the lens of nature filmmakers, viewers witness moments of grace and vulnerability, challenging old fears and inspiring new curiosity. But stories have power. When the anaconda's image is shaped by myth and media, public perception follows. Fear can breed misunderstanding, leading to persecution and neglect. Yet fascination can also spark conservation, turning the River Queen into an ambassador for the Amazon's wonders and woes. As more people learn the truth behind the legend, a deeper appreciation emerges. The anaconda story, told with respect and wonder, becomes a bridge, connecting distant audiences to the fragile world she inhabits. In the end, the way we portray the anaconda shapes not only her fate, but our own relationship with the wild. Through stories, films, and books, the River Queen continues to inspire, reminding us that even the most misunderstood creatures deserve a place in our hearts and in the living tapestry of the Amazon. As the Amazon's emerald labyrinth faces the tides of change, the future of the anaconda and the world she rules hangs in delicate balance. What lies ahead for the River Queen, her kin, and their ancient home? In the coming centuries, the Amazon's shifting climate, swelling rivers, and shrinking forests may reshape the anaconda in ways we can only imagine. Will she grow larger, adapting to new prey and altered habitats, or will she become smaller, more elusive, slipping into the shadows of a changing world? Scientists wonder if natural selection will favor new patterns, colors, or hunting tactics as the ecosystem transforms around her. Perhaps the anaconda's legendary patience will become her greatest asset, allowing her to endure when other giants vanish. But the fate of the anaconda is entwined with that of the rainforest itself. As trees fall and waters warm, the intricate web of life frays. Every lost tree, every vanished frog or capybara echoes through the food chain, shaping the future of every creature from the tiniest fish to the mightiest serpent. Yet hope endures with every step toward conservation, every new discovery, and every story told. The possibility of a thriving Amazon remains alive. The River Queen's future depends not only on her own resilience, but on ours, the choices we make, the lands we protect, the wisdom we carry forward. Will future generations know the Anaconda as a living legend gliding through unbroken rivers beneath a lush canopy? Or will she become a ghost of memory, remembered only in stories and old film reels? The answer unfolds with each passing day, written by nature and by us. In the dance of evolution and survival, the Anaconda's tale is far from over. As the Amazon's fate hangs in the balance, so too does the destiny of its most enigmatic queen. The future is unwritten, but hope, like the river, continues to flow.